The Wirtgen Group has a reputation for commissioning high-quality scale models of its machines. And here is a model from the Bauma 2025 exhibition. It's the Wirtgen WR240X. And, as it says on the box, it's a cold recycler and soil stabiliser. Turning the box around to have a look at the end, and we can see that it's made by NZG and it's model number 1118.
Let's weigh it up.
The box gets lowered onto the weighbridge and it comes in at about £1 9 ounces, which happens to be 705 grams. It's time to open the box and see what's inside. And out come the usual pair of trays. And as you can see, they are taped together. That means it's time for some knife work. And we'll try and cut the tape without detaching a finger or a thumb. Helpfully, the trays are marked top and bottom. And if we lift the top tray, we see the model wrapped in soft paper. The model is complete out of the box, there's no assembly to do, but we do need to remove a little bit of excess packaging, which keeps the cab secure.
Let's weigh it up again.
The model goes onto the weighbridge and it's just under £1 5 ounces, or just under 600 grams. Starting underneath, and things at the front are fairly simple, with some of the framework modelled. The large tyres are impressive with their heavy tread pattern. The milling and mixing rotor certainly impresses, with all of the picks individually painted. The roof of the cab has got detail within the casting, and viewed from the front the cab has lights at the top, and there are large windscreen wipers. There's a large metal frame that holds mirrors and cameras. Looking inside, you can see a detailed console and a textured floor. Looking on the side of the cab, the window has realistic looking seals, and there's another windscreen wiper. The handrails on the model are metal, as are the steps leading up to the cab platform, but as you can see, they are not textured. However, that's not the case moving to the platform itself, where there's a lot of texturing, and it all gives an impressive appearance. Moving to the side, and there are some sharp Wirtgen graphics, and the unbranded tyres are on metal wheels. A highlight of the detailing is the excellent meshed grills, and they are extremely fine in nature. An exhaust pipe is also modelled. Moving further back, and the mechanics for the milling drum are well engineered, and the tiny hydraulic ram has a plastic jacket. There's a metal access ladder rising up the side of the machine. Moving to the back, and the wheel supports for the rear wheels are modelled in metal, and there are hydraulic hoses running to the rear wheels. Also at the back there's a Wirtgen name and a tiny logo. And here is a better view of the hydraulic hoses running to the rear wheels. Up on top there are excellent mesh grills to the engine cover, and the modelled hinges are reasonably discreet. At the back there's a detailed cover for the mixer tanks. We start underneath, and there is linked steering on both axles, and it feels nice and precise and stiff. Each wheel spins individually, and the range of movement on the steering is pretty good too. To turn the steering, it's best to move one of the wheels and let the linkage do the rest. In the middle is the big rotor, and it spins very freely. There are also skirts, front and back, and they are both hinged so you can move them. So this aspect of the model does have a lot of functionality. Out on site, and the model rolls well enough, And again, it all feels very nice and precise. Let's set some steering and see what angle we can achieve. And it's very, very good, and you get a really tight turning circle, so you don't need too much desk space. The whole cab has a sliding mechanism to the side, so it gives better visibility front and rear for the operator. And there's also an opening engine cover. And if we take a view inside that, we can see various different components. The cover is engineered well with small discrete hinges. The model has another feature which is more difficult to use, and that is the operator's console can be rotated. And you do that by turning a knob that's underneath the cab. Another area where the model engineering is really good is raising and lowering the rotor. The best way to do it is by carefully operating the linkage on either side of the machine, and it gives you a realistic range of movement for the milling rotor. With the cab moved to its inner position, you can use the machine as a good transport load. It looks good, and it could only be improved if the mirror supports could be folded in. This is another high quality model by NZG for the Wirtgen group. This is an updated model of one first introduced back in 2013, and it represents the latest version of the WR240X. It's well made with a very good range of features, and there's also plenty of detail to make it interesting. Overall, the model has enough to be rated as excellent.